Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We have an interesting one for you today. We're going to be testing out some Thaan charcoal that I found off of Amazon. This caught my eye because on the label it says it burns hot, burns very long, and it burns very clean. But one thing I saw in the reviews is that most people use this for direct grilling. I want to see what happens when we use this in my offset over here. The whole point is to see how long I can go without having to refuel. Initially, I would have to refuel this offset every 25 to 30 minutes. But when testing B&B char logs from our last video, we were able to get that up to about 45 to 50 minutes. So I'm interested to see if using this new type of charcoal will give us a longer burn time and have to refill less throughout the sessions. So that said, let's go ahead and get a fire started. All right, one thing I did want to show is how these came delivered here. I don't know if this had to do with the shipping or how they were packed, but you can see a lot of them came broken in the box, but we'll just use the whole ones and we'll just see how this cook goes. So we have about 6 of these charcoals stacked up. I read online that they're hard to light, so below this I have just like about a handful of briquettes just to make sure this catches. And then we're also going to use 2 fire starters as well. So I'm going to start a timer and we'll come back once this is fully lit. All right, we're at 17 minutes. And as you can see, we're pretty ashed over. It's feeling really hot. I think right now I want to go ahead and pour these out and start seeing where our temperatures go. So some of these broken pieces that came in the bag, we'll just jot those in while we shut everything down. See how that goes. All right, here's a shot of what we're looking at right now. So we'll go inside and we'll find something to cook here while we let everything catch up to temperature. All right, we're back inside. Today we're gonna do a beef rib. We're gonna just keep it really simple for our seasonings and our rub today. We're just gonna use just the rest of what I got here, which is equal parts salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder. We're gonna use our vegetable oil spray as just a binder. And the goal for this cook is just to keep it unwrapped throughout the entire cooking process. If it starts to get a little bit too dark on the bark, or if it starts looking like a meteorite, then we'll probably wrap it in butcher paper, but we'll see how long we can go. Not doing anything fancy with this. The whole goal is just to see how well this Thaan charcoal is going to work. So let's go ahead and get this seasoned up and then we'll see where we're at. I'm just going to start with the back really quick. I just scored the back fat here. I didn't, especially with beef ribs, it's a little difficult, so I don't really bother on taking off the membrane. And I'm just going to give it just a little bit of a light coating here of this mixture. And we'll just go ahead and rub that in, and then we'll get in the bone section here as well. We're just keeping it real simple today, and it still should come out pretty good. I don't really make beef ribs too often just because of how much bone is in here. It's going to be more bone than meat, so that's why I'm not really doing anything special. If this was pork ribs, I probably would give it a little bit more attention. But something like this, and I found it in the for sale section in the grocery store, I figured, you know, it's probably a good piece of meat to do some testing with. So I'm just gonna put this all in here. We're just gonna rub it all in. All right, we're done. Here's our beef rib all seasoned up. So next step is we're gonna go ahead and see where our grill temperatures are at and see if we're ready to put this meat on the grill. All right, we just finished seasoning up our ribs and just checking where we're at. We're running around 240 right now. I was around 250, then I opened it up to see how everything was looking. So we lost a little bit of temperature. So we were kind of stabilized around 250, which is good enough. I was hoping to see if maybe, you know, with the amount of charcoal we put in there, I was expecting it more like 315, at least over 300. But this is good enough. Maybe it'll heat up throughout the duration to cook. We're also going to use some oak chunks today. Normally I usually cook with cherry wood splits, but we have some oak and we have some hickory laying around, so we're just going to toss in 1 or 2 of these and then we'll just get the meat on. All right, there we go. All right, let's shut everything down, let the temperatures regulate, and we'll get the meat on. All right, so we're back. Our temperatures are running stable at 250. I'll just zoom in really quick. You can see we're running wide open today. We have a clean burning smoke, so it's time to put on our meat. I'm not doing any water pan either. We're just going to just put the ribs in, and then we'll spritz them. You know, maybe every hour we'll give them a nice spritz. We'll see how it goes. Open it up. I'm gonna put them in vertical with the bones facing this way, I guess the hottest portion. And then we'll adjust depending on how things are cooking, how things are burning. We'll make adjustments to how it goes. And we're just gonna run it just like that. So instead of a water pan, we'll just do a drip pan today. Just collect all those, so it makes it easier to clean things up. And let's go ahead and shut things down. So we'll come back here in 1 hour, see where our temperatures are at, spritz it, and then we'll make any kind of adjustments we need to make. All right, it's been 1 hour. Looking at our temperatures, we're at 268 degrees, which is actually quite impressive. So we went the whole hour not having to touch the grill at all. Let's take a look at what we got going on inside of the firebox here. Our 2 oak wood chunks are pretty much all spent down. This is feeling really hot. We can still see the charcoal still has some of its shape, like this one up here. When I touch it, it's still pretty solid. So that's pretty impressive. I'm gonna add in another chunk of oak in here in a bit. But I think we should just let this go. I'll probably add in one more of those charcoal Thaan logs in here real quick for the second hour. But that's about it right now. Pretty impressed so far. I'll probably move some things around in here just a bit. Make sure it's a little bit more even, burning evenly. All right, so let's see how our ribs are doing. We're gonna spritz them with a mixture of apple cider vinegar and water. I'm using more water than apple cider vinegar for this one. Let's just see how they're doing. So far they're looking good for its first hour. Let's go ahead and hit a little spritz on it. All right, here we go. We have our fire set up for our next hour of cooking. We just went with 2 chunks. There was a big chunk, a small chunk, and then one of these Thaan logs here. So we'll shut it down. We'll come back out here after our second hour is complete. We're officially 2 hours down on our cook time. We're rolling around 260 on our internal temperature. See how they're looking. We got a good color on our ribs right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and just give them a little spritz while you have this open, and we'll shut it back down. I really like how these are looking. We have a good red color, mahogany-ish color on those. A lot of that's coming from that clean smoke from those oak chunks that we're running. Go ahead and close it out. Just look at our fire. Oh, that's really hot. And if I probe it, it's pretty solid. So that's still cooking away. So I like what I see so far. I'm just gonna go ahead and add in one more chunk, and we'll see you back in an hour after we're done with 3 hours worth of cooking. All right, we're 3 hours down. We pretty much lost a lot of our temperature. We're down in the low 200s. Our ribs are looking good. We're gonna do a probe test pretty soon. Check them out. Let's look at the fire. Still got some heat coming out here, but you can see everything's pretty much spent. Depending on how done we are with these, will kind of dictate what we want to do as far as maintaining a fire goes. But we have a lot of pullback on these bones already, so I know we're nearing completion. So all right, we're just gonna run a probe in here. Yeah, it's really tender. It goes in without effort. We'll go, at least 4 hours or so. I put in one last little chunk in here of wood and just broken pieces from this stand. We're just gonna use this to carry on the cooking. I'm gonna wrap this in butcher paper and just let it go for the finished 4 hours worth of cooking. We'll rest it, and then we'll see what we have going on. All right, we're at 4 hours, so we're done here for today. Everything is pretty much spent. I still got a little bit of heat going in with the remainder of these coals here. We'll just let those die out. I did wrap in butcher paper the ribs for the last 45 minutes of the cook, so we're at officially 4 hours of cook time. We're done. They're tender. Since we were losing heat, I decided just to wrap them and kind of kickstart our resting process. So I'll just take them inside, let them rest for like another 20 minutes or so, and then we'll slice into them. We're back inside. We just finished the rest period, so we're going to go ahead and open these up and get our first slices in. First off, these are looking great. I'll hold them up to the camera so you can kind of see them a little bit. We got good color. Spin it around this way. We got good pullback on the bones. We achieved a nice bark on them. They're smelling great too as well. So let's just go ahead and slice open one. Let's take a look. There we go. So you can see we have a pretty significant smoke ring on the outside. We're looking pretty juicy here as well. Took a quick bite out of it. It's pretty tender. Tastes pretty flavorful. We got a good smoke on these. Here's another one. There we go. Pretty good stuff. So the Thaan charcoal is really clean burning. I don't really taste anything outside of the wood smoke that we were using. All right, so there you have it. So we completed our cook. All in all, I was pretty impressed with the Thaan charcoal. I mean, we were able to go at least on multiple occasions, at least an hour without having to refuel my smoker, which is always a good thing. Will I buy this product again? Probably not, and here's the reason why. The price I paid for these, when we look up here, costs the same amount of these B&B char logs. You get so much more of these. They're local and in town. I can just go right down the street, pick these up, instead of waiting for these to come in the mail, probably half broken. And we get close results. I mean, with B&B charcoal, I get about 45 minutes in before I have to look at any kind of refueling. With these, I get, almost, closer, give or take an hour, which is always great. But, for the prices of each, I can always just add in more of these. So there you have it. That's my review. But feel free to try these out. Let me know what you guys think. See you in the next one.